Okay, so VF3. So basically what we're going to do is start drawing pictures of these several different vector fields over here and see which ones could possibly maybe look kind of like this. Right? Okay. All right, so let's number one, for example. So this y comma negative x. Well, one thing you can note, this looks an awful lot like a vector field that we wrote down in the as an example in the book, right? It was negative y comma x, and this is y comma negative x. So this is the negative of that vector field. And if you start plotting points, what you'll find is that this just goes something like this. This is a counterclockwise. This is a clockwise rotation field, and it's shorter in closer to the origin, and it's longer further away from the origin. But this represents something that would look kind of like a flow around a point. Now, do these vectors represent a force toward a single point? No, it just doesn't. Right, so we eliminate this as a possibility. Let's see now, 2, e to the x comma x. What does that look like? Well, one thing I noticed right off the bat is that the value of this vector field only depends on x. There's no y's in it. So any 2 points that have the same x coordinate have the same associated vector, right? And so could this all somehow be pointing toward the same point? Well, at whatever point it's supposed to be pointing toward, note the vector sort of needs to point, the direction that the field vector points has to depend on y. This one doesn't. So, and I don't know how I draw this thing. It's going to be a little hard to draw, but we kind of don't need to because it sort of clearly can't be what we need. Does that make sense? Okay, is everybody good so far? It's not 1, it's not 2? Okay. All right. Number 4, let's skip 3 for the moment. What does 4 look like? Well, x squared, y squared. Well, no, both of these, the first and second component of this vector field are never negative. They're always positive. So whatever this looks like, it's always kind of pointing up and to the right, to some amount in some different directions, but it's always kind of that way. Right? So that's simple. There is no single point that all these things are pointing toward, because it's going to be pointing away from some of them. Oh, yeah, and I see now I wrote this problem down backwards. So number 3 is the answer, but I'm sorry?
Is it supposed to be away from the single point?
Yeah, away from the single point, not toward. So I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah, my mistake. Fine. So you're right that. So you get 0, 0 when x is 8 and y is negative 2. So you get that, and all these things are kind of pointing sort of away. I just got my signs confused there. Sorry about that. So they all point away, and I'm going to fix that in about an hour. So future versions, that will be corrected. So in fact, future listeners to this recording will think, hey, it looks right to me. Okay. All right. Sorry about that mistake. Anybody else? Everybody good on this problem? Okay. What else do y'all want to talk about? Oh, hang on a second. Let me stop the recording here.